traders. Hope you guys are having a great afternoon so far. As mentioned in this morning's video, I did buy some shares in Apple. Now, what I ended up doing was on my long-term accounts, I bought shares in Apple, and then on my day trading account, I ended up getting. I'll just admit it. I got murdered today in the market, absolutely obliterated. I lost. What was it? I believe 1.10% of my account. So not the worst in terms of percentages. I'm not really concerned about that, but just in terms of consistently getting into being in a losing trade, it's really made me take a step back and decide to go back to paper trading for just a little bit. I just need to do some more testing with my strategy. I have no doubt that my strategy works. It's a very good strategy. The issue, I think, is the contracts I'm choosing. So what I'm going to be doing is just taking the time and looking at some of the contracts I'm using, and doing some contracts that have a longer expiration. So I'm going to be looking into that. But to get into it, we're going to be doing a technical review today of the S&P, the NASDAQ, and everything in between. So let's get into it. So on Apple, like I was mentioning, I was really watching that 191.70. I ended up buying at market open, so a little bit of a hit in the morning, but I hedged out my position. I bought a bunch of shares, and then I also hedged out with some puts. So that way, if it does go down to my stop loss, I still turn a profit no matter what. But if it does go up, the puts are so out of the money that it wouldn't erode away from the profits that much. So overall, not a bad move in my opinion. But for tomorrow, what I'm going to be watching is if 191.70, 189.78 can hold up. If they can, great. Then I'll look for upside to 191.70, then 195.25. If 191.70 holds up, watch 195.25 specifically. On Microsoft, what I would watch for tomorrow is, let me just delete this. Actually, you know what? We'll keep it because that was an important gap. So let's change that back to orange. So what I would really watch on Microsoft is to see if this support level ends up holding up at 366.78. If it does, I'd watch it move back up to 371.81. If we fail 366.78, watch it move back down to 362. And I'll have new zones drawn up for you guys tomorrow on Microsoft. On NVIDIA, the big thing I was watching on NVIDIA was a possible gap fill trade. I don't know how that gap fill worked out. I mean, it worked out decently. Oh, no, it didn't. Yeah, no, it didn't. Never mind. So, yeah, that gap fill did not work. I know on QQQ it did. I just didn't get the fill on it. So, on NVIDIA, the big levels to watch is going to be to see if 454 ends up holding up. If it does, then you can expect a push back to 471. But I think that we're going to say range bound for now. But if we break down 454, watch 439 on NVIDIA. On Meta, let's see how we did on Meta today. So it looks like we end up projecting 318.46, maybe even a 3. It didn't come close enough to consider 323 as a reject. But I'd definitely be interested to see how 312 performs tomorrow. Even 315 might be an interesting thing to watch for Meta. If we hold 318.46, I'd watch 323 and the possible gap fill at 324.82 on Meta. On Amazon, the big thing I was watching on Amazon was going to be that 145.89 level. We rejected it. So I'd watch it move back down to 143 and 141.80, and I'll have new levels drawn up for you guys tomorrow for Amazon. But to the upside, let's just say that we end up holding 143.74. Watch 145.89, and if we open above 145.89, watch 149.26. On Tesla, let's see what we got on Tesla. So we rejected 243.14 pretty nicely. So I'd watch for a move back down to 232 possibly. There'll definitely be an area of interest for me to watch. So below 232, you get 226. Above 243, basically you get 254.81 and 250. Then on Google, what I'm going to be watching on Google is going to be 130 support. If we break down 130 support, watch it move back down to 128. If we hold up 130, watch 131.41, and I'll have some new levels drawn up for you guys tomorrow on Google. And a possible gap fill at 126.45. That's definitely going to be an area to watch. Now, SPY, let's see how we end up doing today. Did we get the gap fill on SPY? No, but very close. So what I'm watching on SPY for tomorrow is going to be 454. If we get below 454, then I'd watch 452 and 450. If we hold 454, watch 456, 26, and 458. On the Qs, what I'm going to be watching is going to be 383. If we can hold up 383 tomorrow, then you can get a pushback up to 386. If we get a close below 383, then watch 380 and 378. But if we get a close above 386, watch 388 and 390.50. And then Qualcomm, let's see how we did on that. So we end up projecting up the upper portion of 132. So I'd definitely be interested to see if we make a move back down to support at 125.67. I mean, the 130.60 is still a massive resistance level. Until we break above that, I'm not going to be too bullish on Qualcomm. And then AMD, see how AMD did today. Did we get a gap fill? I mean, you got a nice bounce. I'll give you that. That's for sure. So I wish I was paying attention at the time. I would definitely have taken that. Beautiful move. I don't know how much of a gain that is, 89 cents on AMD, but still, looks pretty good to me. As a matter of fact, a lot of the trades here didn't look too bad. Might even consider trading AMD at some point. But on AMD, what I would be interested in seeing is, let's delete this out. If we get a move back down to 114, if we hold 114, then I'd watch 117. If we don't hold 114, watch 111. And I'll draw out levels for you guys on AMD tomorrow. But that's what I'm going to be watching for tomorrow, traders, and good luck.